Hey, hello, good morning, guys, and this is Coding with Gautam, and today we'll be continuing with what we did in the last episode. We will be talking about the main loop, and then this is the last episode. So this line will start an infinite loop that keeps the game running until the user exits. This is a while true. This game keeps checking for events and updating itself within this loop. So this is the main loop. Then this for event in pygame.event.get. This line iterates through all that has happened in the game window since the last loop iteration. These events are we are mostly talking about mouse clicks. Then if the event type is pygame.quit, so basically if we close the window, then it shuts down pygame, and then it shuts down the whole Python program. That's why when I do force quit, it restarts the kernel, because we're exiting SYS also. Then we do the if event type equals pygame.mouse button down. So if we click that, when we put the mouse button down, this conditional statement checks if the event type is pygame.mouse button down. This will happen when we push it. The functionality of this is it's basically if not game over, mouse X is the event.pose.0, so it saves it in an array. So basically this is what we're dealing with here. So we have like 54x 657y. So then it takes the first event of the event.position and then saves it to the mouse X and mouse Y. So clicked row, we divide mouse Y by square size. So we divide the mouse row by mouse Y by square size. This line calculates the row index on the board that was clicked. It divides the Y coordinate by the size of each of the square on the board to get the corresponding row number for row number. Same thing for the X. This line also calculates the column index where the board was clicked, similar to row calculation. Then with this if statement, this conditional checks two things. First, it checks if the board clicked row clicked column is empty. This checks if the clicked cell in the board is based on the calculated row and column is empty. Then second, it checks if the clicked row is within the board boundaries. Then so it basically checks that we're not clicking outside the board or under the board, we're clicking on the board. Then functionality. If both conditions are true, the cell is empty and within the board, the following lines are executed. Then we have 7 through 11. This is the main crux of the code. So if the current player is X, we basically turn the empty cell into an X, and then we check if the current player is, well, winning. They check if the current player has won. If they have won, it's game over, and then we redraw the figures. We redraw all the figures, and then we say display, and next time we display the message, you win. Then if the current player is 0 and the current player is 0 or O, and if it's not game over and it's not check draw, so if it's not a draw and it's not game over, we make the bot move. And then we basically choose two random columns, and let's just refresh that. Let's go to the bot move function. So basically the bot move function, it returns a random choice from available moves, which checks for empty row and column. So it basically looks like something like this. So it's in a list within a list, and then it's like 35, like 1 1, another one, like 2 3. It looks like that. So then we get the first element and then the second element of move. Then we change that to 0, and then we check if 0 wins. And then we set game over to true. We redraw the figures and display message equals you lose, and then the current player is now X. We restart, but still we draw the figure. So draw the figure is mean we input the X. So when we draw the figure, we input the X. Else we input the 0. If we change the current player to X. So basically after the bot's done, we change it to X. Then we draw the figures, basically make sure that if it's clicked, we draw a figure, and then we check if it's draw, and if it's not game over, it's game over, because if check draw is true and it's not game over, so that means none of us has won and it's a draw because all squares are filled, then we set game over to true, and then we display it's a draw. Else you handle button click. The handle button click function basically just rechecks for clicks. If game over, then we draw the button play again, and then the pygame.display update basically updates the entire game display window. This ensures all changes made to the game state are reflected. So yeah, this is the code. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe. This is Coding with Gautam, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.